Is this thing on? Is this thing on?
Hi, my name's David Smarkin. I met Aviva almost exactly 10 years ago to the day. And that means for the past 9.5 years I've been threatening her with this very moment. When I tell all of you the story of how we met, and I have Dana up here to kind of corroborate. Right, we're going to reenact the situation. And we haven't rehearsed this, so this is no Alice performance. It's okay. So I'm just going to set the scene for you a little bit. It was the very first day of Oberlin, the very first day of freshman orientation. I hope you guys have had a little bit to drink because I am about to get very real with you. I was young. I was, nerdy, Jewish. I know this is all blowing your mind, right? And I was Jewish, and I hadn't had a single drink in my life. I was a virgin, and I wanted all that to go away that night. There was a place in Oberlin called the SCO, which is you can give it up, that's right. Which was a kind of a dance club about the size of this patch of grass right here, and all of the freshmen went to the SCO that night, and we were dancing, and I was there dancing, and this is where the kind of reenactment comes into play, Dana. So I was there, so I was kind of dancing like this, and I missed something very important. I'm dancing. I'm wearing a this is relevant. I'm wearing a T-shirt, and I'm wearing a Jewish star over my T-shirt. The Star of David. So this is me. I'm the dancing Jew, and all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, comes this woman with this beautiful hair, and she's.
Oh wait.
Oh yeah, big hair, right? And she very flirtatiously says to me,
"Nice necklace."
So I think, okay, this is college. This is how it happens. This is going on. This is happening right now. So I obviously start, dancing. I'm like, okay, I'm just dancing. Nothing. She turns around. So I'm like, okay, this is some. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to try again. I'm going to go again. One more time. And I looked for Viva for about 3 weeks, and I didn't find her. I became friends with Amy, her roommate. I didn't know was her roommate. One day I went to Amy's room to hang out, and I saw this girl with big brown hair sitting on the top bunk of sitting on her bed, which was the top bunk I remember, being very moody. And I said, and I looked at her, and it took me a while to recognize her, and I said, oh, holy F, you were that girl. Like, where have you been? And she literally put the covers over her head and screamed. Then we officially met, and for the next, 2.5 years, it was a lot of drama. I mean, I was very much in love with the view for the first, but let me think. Well, definitely the rest of that year, freshman year, and because what happened is we became friends, and when we used to take trips together, we would go down to Cincinnati. I know there's some Cincinnati in the house, right? So, right, and I'm from Cincinnati too, and so for the high holidays, we would kind of take these road trips, and these road trips were very cathartic for. And I think she'll admit, for both of us, it was because she was feeling it too. She didn't want to admit it, but But she was. So we were taking these road trips, and I was falling deeper and deeper, and there were, I'll spare you all the details, but I will tell you this one little detail which will make no sense to you at all, and it didn't make any sense to Viva either. One day, as a way to kind of express my affection for her and to really show her how much she's done, how much I loved her. I used to wear the same jeans every day. I wore them for about a year, and she was always bugging me about it. And so I thought, you know, what would be really funny and really, really touching is if I gave her the jeans. So I bought new jeans, and I didn't tell her. And I asked her to come into my room. I was living in Russia House, and I sat her down. I made her close her eyes, and I kind of rolled up the jeans, and I put them in her hands. And I had not washed them, and I told her to open up her eyes. And I was honestly expecting this to be like a moment, like I thought we were like that was gonna be it, like that song that we just heard was gonna play, and we were gonna be in love. But instead, again, I got a scream, and she threw the jeans back at me. So that was drama for a little bit. And then our junior year, I went away the first year. The first semester, I was in London, and my focus shifted from Aviva to men. And my second semester. That's not really that funny. And the second semester, unfortunately, this is how I see it. I mean, that's when Aviva, it took her going to Australia to realize how much she loved me. And it just, so obviously when she got back, she was kind of a rude awakening. And so anyway, the point is, so anyway, it never happened between us, obviously, and but we were great friends. And I was thinking earlier today, you know, why, how could I have fallen in love with a woman when I was, you know, gay? You know, like that's hard to do, you know. Right? And I realized that it's because Aviva is so warm and she's so sweet. And she's so, well, actually the reason is society. I mean, like, heterocentric societies. But the real reason, this is like being at Oberlin again. And, but the real reason is because Aviva is so, it's just because she just emits all this warmth and all this sweetness. And I've always felt like I could just go to her anytime I had a hard time, which really, basically she's a cinnamon roll. You know, she's warm, sweet. You go to her for company times, and she always gives it back to you. And that's, you know, that's another private joke, which I should laugh at. Anyway, the point is, Aviva, I still love you.
As long as I'm up here.
I thought you were his sidekick.
I am.
But she's much more.
I am more than David Tamarkin's sidekick, and I'll have you all know. He's a hard act to follow, but I'm going to go since I'm standing up here and my wine is waiting over there. I'm Dana Gruber. Hi, everyone. Otherwise known as the third Meyerowitz child. Yes. I've known Aviva for 30 years. That is a true story. Aviva and I went to JCC nursery school together, and the love never stopped. And the thunder just proclaimed. So I would hang out at the Meyerowitz household all the time. I slept over there. It might have been because I was using Aviva for her Nintendo. It might have been because of that, I don't know. But I also spent a lot of time in the house. Cyril would force me to give him massages, which nowadays someone might have to call Child Protective Services, but at the time it was perfectly normal. I felt a little deprived because they didn't have any sugar cereals, and I was hopped up on sugar all the time, so I felt a little deprived. But otherwise, loved being in the Meyerowitz household, and spent a lot of time there throughout all of high school, in college. When we came home, we went to Oberlin together. Came home, spent time there, still had to massage Cyril. I'm just kidding. I didn't. That's gross. That's gross. That's not true. But I'll say this. So I went to Oberlin as well. And my sophomore year, I happened to live down the hall from Mr. Seth Fruderman. Now, this is before Viva had even met him. And he was my sort of down the hall neighbor, and I had a crush on his roommate. True story. So I would go over to Seth's room every once in a while just to sort of strut my stuff, and Seth would be there. His roommate wouldn't give me the time of day, but Seth was super nice to me every time he came over. He was sweet, he was nice, he was just like that nice Jewish, lovely, nerdy boy that you just want to kind of cuddle. And his roommate was a jerk, so he kind of hit the wind. But Seth and I became friendly, and fast forward many years later, I'm so thrilled that him and Aviva are together. I couldn't think of a better couple. I feel like the two of you bring out the absolute best in each other. And one thing I've always loved about Aviva is her, and also kind of thought was strange about Aviva at the same time, was her need to hold on to friendships even if the friends weren't as good as they should be to her. And I feel like it's one of the great qualities about her, that she's just so loving, she's so loyal, she's so giving. And I feel like she really met her match in Seth, because I feel like Seth's the same way. Seth has millions of friends who love him, who cherish him, who know that he's always there for them. And I just love you guys both, and I'm so happy you found each other, and I look forward to many, many years of friendship with both of you and sisterhood. Please don't cart Cyril off to the police station.
Are you okay?
I'm Françoise Janevsky, and I met Seth the day he was born. So I got you all beat, you young kid. But actually the story began even before that, because one day in June of 1969, Roy Fruderman and Alan Danevsky were sitting in a cafe in Leuven, Belgium, and I was reading the Herald Tribune. And that is how I became part of the Fruderman and, of course, the Danevsky family. But there was Seth, and your dad called and said, "We're going to have a baby." And we jumped in the car, and next thing you know, you were born, and you were kind of wheeled into the nursery. And I kind of claimed you as my own from that day forward. But when we met Aviva, I said, "She looks like Judy. I can't believe she looks like Judy." And then I met this extended Meyerowitz family in the last couple of weeks. And you met your perfect match. You won the jackpot. You're merging this universal world, your love of music, good wine, and you know we're into that, like big time, and good food, and wonderful people, and blended families, and I wish you just the best. I think you two are made for each other. I know you are. Mazel tov.
There's a line over here. I cut. So I wasn't planning on talking about how I met Seth, but Dana, where are you? I had a crush on Seth's roommate too. I did. I really wasn't playing, and that's how I met Seth. And I walked in, and I got the cold shoulder to that bastard. And then I turned around, and on the other, twin bed, there was Seth smiling. He's not here now. We don't need him. Well, actually, no. I don't have a roast. Because I figured that there would be plenty of those. We'll just roast the roommate. But really, so this whole weekend is about love. It's about celebrating the two of them right now. It's about celebrating Seth and Aviva tomorrow when we're all together. But I'm actually going to talk about a different type of love, and that is love of friendship, and that is love of friends. And so I actually ask you all to raise your glasses. Mine's over there somewhere. So I toast to long drives and singing ridiculous songs with friends, with one friend in particular. I toast to Never Never Land. Oh, yes. I toast to late night, not drinks, but cereal in the kitchen. And then I toast to new friends who, when you meet them, when one of your dearest friends in the world, who is probably one of the most crucial people in your life, says, I want you to meet this one particular person, and I think you're really going to like her. So when you meet that new friend, and you have this moment of actually never growing that friendship, of just instantly being friends, and having that feeling of, what do you mean we didn't know each other? And then having one of the most dearest friends in your life saying, what do you mean you two didn't know each other? So I toast to your love for each other, but I toast to how lucky all of us are to have these two friends, and to our love for you. It's because lucky us that you've got all of us together here. So here's to the two of you.